It's...
Well, there we go.
Powered by Riverside.
We are back, and it is week 0 of college football. It is the most wonderful time of the year. This is the 4th and 1 podcast, anchor.fm/4th&1. Comment down below who is going to win the Natty this year. We are pumped. Well, I am pumped. Simeon's here. I'm here. My dog's down there. We are ready to go. We got a great show for you today. I am excited for this college football season, as I am every season. But this year, I am really excited because we're going to be better than we were last year at this. And yeah. So, again, comment down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. But who's going to win the Natty this year? We got to know. We got to know. Are you guys picking Clemson, Bama, Georgia, little Ohio State action? Are you rolling the dice with a little Northwestern, little Michigan? Who are we rolling with? Are you rolling the dice from someone with the Pac-12? Are you doing Oklahoma? I have no idea. I'm ready to watch it play out. I'm hoping for a 2007 season where the number 2 team in the nation loses constantly down the stretch. I'm your host, Micaiah. That is Simeon.
No one cares!
How we doing today?
We are doing pretty good. I look like a mess. I killed a bunch of spotted lanternflies outside.
Nice.
We're on one tree. I sprayed them with soap, which apparently Dawn Dish soap kills spotted lanternflies. Apparently.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I'm
kill them lanterns.
They're not good. You know, they're not. Wait, they're not. That's what they were saying earlier, and I was like,
Number 1.
so.
How dare you live here? You know what? You're going to be quick this season with the sound bites. I can feel it. I'm going to be the worstest host on the interwebs because, after all, why we do look to improve, don't worry, everyone who's here for the burning dumpster fire will still get the worstest podcast on the interwebs.
I was asked by a... I was asked by a recruiter today, I see you have a podcast. Does that take up time? Like, are you thinking that's going to take up more time of your, day? Basically asking, are you going to leave us? How big is your podcast? Are you going to leave us in like 6 months? And
Did you tell him to take a listen?
He did say he would check us out. Yeah. I did have to
excellent.
reassure him that, we're the worstest podcast in the world. So
as of right now, we are the worstest podcast on the internet. However, I do strive to make this a big sports show, a sports podcast to where we are doing it daily, and I can leave healthcare altogether because, that's the main goal. But, we're just having fun with it right now. Simeon's having fun with it. He's drinking Aquafina that he got confused with Dasani for some reason.
Which is the worst water.
It is the worst water. That
Okay.
I think everyone universally agrees.
I think this is not the best water either. Okay, I'm not gonna.
Best water is probably like Spring Park, Deer Park, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just straight up spring water, nothing special added to it. Like
Yep.
this, if your water has a taste to it, it's bad water. So get rid of that $5 Fiji stuff. I'll grab the 99-cent bottle of water that you're pretty sure the plastic is going to fall apart if you breathe on it wrong.
That
from
is true.
Turkey Hill, from
Yep.
Rutter's, from pick your
Why
gang.
go anywhere else?
Yeah, pick your gang.
Wawa.
Best convenience store in Pennsylvania. Go.
Oh, it's got to be Sheets.
Okay, you're Team Red here.
Oh, yeah. I'm Team Ren. Listen, you got them to go. You got them fire apps. They bring the fire with the apps. You got a great selection. They do beer. They do little bottles of Fireball. Yeah, I mean...
I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody. The double champ does what the he wants.
That is to the Wawa people.
Because it's garbage.
Wawa is garbage, thank you. Thank you for playing that
Because
soundbite.
it's garbage.
it's really like the Bloods and the Crips out here. That's a stereotype of Pennsylvania I can get on board with. You good?
Yeah, there was a Duke hair in my camera.
Dookie doo!
Yeah.
Yeah, so,
Oh my goodness.
okay, sorry, before we jump into it.
So I know where you're going with this. He lives with his parents, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
So go ahead, make fun of him for that.
I had to move back in with my parents due to roommate problems. For the time being, I'm getting married and moving out. Don't worry, I'm an
Holla
adult.
back at your boy.
Back.
Venmo him. Buy the groom a drink.
Oh,
I
okay.
hate that trend. I hate that trend with a burning passion.
It's stupid.
Buy the bride a drink and we'll send you pictures from the bachelorette party. No one cares. No one wants to buy you a drink. Go get your fiancé to do it.
No one cares!
Exactly. Anyway, you were saying?
I had to change my Venmo name because it was like Yes Daddy Please as I changed it to that as like
kinky.
a joke, or like Yes Daddy Tonight or something like that as a joke, because it was an available username on Venmo. But then anyway. So anyway, I live with my parents, and my mom was talking to my grandmother, who she's having to take care of. And she literally said on the phone, I'm doing something, I'm waking up in the morning, making my coffee or whatever. She literally says, "Oh my goodness." And I just look out at her and I go, "Oh my goodness." Just like,
Oh my goodness.
and she looked at me and laughed. And so that's always going to make me laugh. So, should we talk some sports?
You know what? Let's talk some sports. Let's keep the energy high. I love the energy of this podcast. Mom, I don't think hates it this week. That was awesome. I don't know what that was, but that was dope.
It was a built-in transition.
Well, let's do it. Let's start with the check down, bros, as we will each and every week. All right. So Sha'Carri Richardson, the USA sprinter, female sprinter in the 100-meter dash, who was not able to run at the Olympics in Tokyo because she popped positive for marijuana. Agree with it or not, I am of the mindset that I do not agree with that. Marijuana shouldn't, and we've covered that on the podcast. She ran the three Jamaicans who got gold, silver, and bronze in the Prefontaine Classic in Oregon, which is the big track meet after the Olympics every year, and she got dead last. ESPN covered it like she won the race, of course, so I would just like to say, ESPN, once again, you suck. How about we cover people who actually win the race? Cover the Jamaican sprinters a little more. Cover them like you cover Sha'Carri Richardson. Sha'Carri, you got shafted by the World Federation of Olympics, whoever monitors that and drug tests you that. But I'm sorry, I don't care if you're going to be back. If this is, you got nowhere to go but up, you sucked. And you sucked hard. You were ninth and you were nowhere close. It wasn't even a close ninth. It was a very far away ninth. So ESPN, do better.
Do we have a do better? I don't think we have a do better. But anyway, it does not matter. Breaking news kind of this afternoon. Cristiano Ronaldo rumored to be joining Man City after his agent could not sign up with continue a deal. With his current club Juventus. Big news for Man City, who signed some big names after a horrible loss to really a very young, very inexperienced Chelsea in the Championship League. It would be big news for him. It would be his first move back, not only to England, but to Manchester. He had started his career really with Manchester United before moving to Real. So big news for them if they can continue the deal. It's not quite finalized yet. I was just reading up on it. They did just draw the Champions League for next year. They just did do that draw, and Man City and Chelsea are in the same group again, which should be fun. So here we are, big news out of the soccer world for those who care.
I actually have which I don't, but I do have a side point. There was a bid. Man City also put in a bid for Kylian Mbappe for $200 million. I believe that was Man City. So PSG was loaded because they had Messi. They had gotten Messi, but now not so. I mean, Alex would probably still say they're loaded. However, Juventus takes a big hit, although they really underachieved with Ronaldo. I'm sure he would say. I'm sure he would give his 2 cents. No one cares about soccer, so let's go back to real sports here.
No one cares!
The NFL is cracking down on taunting. Boy, do I hate this rule.
Oh, my God.
As Pat McAfee calls them, the old whites, and I will agree because, honestly, it is the...
Because it's garbage.
It is literally old whites. It is Mr. Mara, the owner of the Giants, who is the head of the competition committee, is looking. So the NFL refs are now... It is now a 15-yard penalty if you taunt. The littlest things. If you carry 5 guys on your back as a running back for 10 yards and a first down, and you get up and you turn back and you flex at them, but that's all it. You just flex and yell, but you flex in their direction, 15-yard penalty. If Tyreek Hill throws up the peace sign, 15-yard penalty. If you do anything in the direction of any player that might hurt their feelings, it's a 15-yard penalty. If you breathe on them, 15-yard penalty. Wink at them, 15-yard penalty. Spread your butt cheeks and show them your butthole, 15-yard penalty. Hate it so much. Let them taunt. Let them do it. It makes the game awesome, in my opinion.
But violence and non-violent sports make it a T-shirt. Gavin Ware, pitcher. Who does he play for? I actually didn't see that.
Well, yeah. So you're gonna run. You're gonna do this. You're gonna do this news highlight, but you don't even know the thing. He plays for South Dakota.
Okay, I don't need. I can do the rest of the highlight. You're messing up my. Shut up. You're messing up my groove. Gavin Ware is absolutely tearing up Little League. Besides the refs giving him some calls, but it doesn't matter. The dude's probably going to be a future. Dude's probably going to be a future Cy Young pitcher. Up until when was this posted? In his last 8 games pitched.
That includes yesterday's start. He has allowed exactly 1 hit and has struck out 114 of the 132 batters that he's faced. That's impressive for anybody at any level. 2 no-nos in the Little League World Series.
So South Dakota is absolutely tearing it up. I don't care because Pennsylvania is out of it again, and also no U.S. team can lose to Japan, so it doesn't matter.
South Dakota, though, I will make a mark here, has won their games 3-0, 2-0, and 1-0. So
good defense.
So they play good defense and they pitch good. They did just beat the highest scoring team. He no-hit the highest scoring team, California, to this point last night. However, it was double elimination, so California now goes to loser bracket. Could see them again. By the way, Gavin Ware is eligible to pitch because he threw more than 66 pitches. 4 days rest. He's eligible to pitch if they make the championship game. If they do that, I will be watching. Gavin, we're all rooting for you here in Pennsylvania on the 4th and 1 pod.
One last little bit of news that I don't have too much. Actually, I do have it. Jacksonville Jaguars rookie running back out of Clemson, Travis Etienne, suffered a Liz Frank injury. What is that?
Liz Frank
injury and is out for the 2021
Bone
season.
in the top of your foot.
Got it. Kind of sucks for them. Not gonna lie.
It does.
They needed him for the season, but
he was going to be James Robinson's backup, who was 3rd in rushing last year as a rookie. He was Trevor Lawrence's roommate at Clemson. He catches the ball very well out of the backfield. He's a very good runner. He's a very explosive runner. Mm-hmm. It's a big loss. However, I think James Robinson is more than capable of carrying the load. However, it was going to take more pressure off Trevor Lawrence. Yeah. We got one more.
Rick, I am sorry.
The Big Ten, ACC, and Pac-12 are forming an alliance.
Do you want to form an alliance with me?
Absolutely, I do.
Good. Excellent.
This was Pac-12 driven. It's such a great soundbite. Thank
Really
you, The
is.
Office.
The Office
Thank you,
gives you
Rainn
so many
Wilson
good-
and
yeah.
John Krasinski.
Krasinski.
Thank you so much for it. This is Pac-12 driven. ESPN made that very clear in the multiple times that they said, this is Pac-12 driven, this is Pac-12 driven. The Pac-12 commissioner made it very clear, this is Pac-12 driven. So, you know what?
I'm Elmo.
You know what? That's exactly the point I was going to make. So that was the check down, everyone. We're going to jump right into talking a little bit more about this alliance right now. So while no definitive details of what the alliance means moving forward, they really made this alliance as their wording was, this is alliance of conferences that have common values. Basically, they're going to feed you a bunch of bullshit that means this. They want to compete against the SEC to where every non-conference game played between the ACC, the Big 12, and the Pac-12 will be played against those three conferences. Well, basically, they are shutting out the Big 12, and they're going to try to shut out the SEC. Now, there are hurdles to be made because the ACC and SEC have rivalry games like Clemson and Georgia. They always play. They are actually playing
Clemson and South Carolina. Try again.
Clemson, South Carolina. Listen, Clemson and Georgia is more of a rivalry than Clemson, South Carolina. Don't even come at me with that weak sauce.
Number one, how dare you?
So they are forming an alliance of conferences and schools with common values. This is basically the Pac-12's way to not get left in the dark because no one cares about the Pac-12. The Pac-12, they normally start games at 7, which is 4 o'clock Eastern. Christian McCaffrey, when he was at Stanford, shattered Barry Sanders' rushing record and all-purpose yard records and touchdown records and came in second for the Heisman behind Derrick Henry, who granted rushed for 2,000 yards, but Christian McCaffrey should have won. He was the best player in college football, but because he was on at 9 o'clock and 10 o'clock Eastern time, no one's going to watch him. So the Pac-12 is in danger of being kind of like, eventually like the Big 12, left for dead and left to be by themselves. So they're pairing with two conferences who already have big money makers in Ohio State, Clemson, Michigan, and Notre Dame as of right now, sort of in and out. And they're trying not to get left in the dark. Now, Paul Feinbaum says that this is an embarrassment because they leave the Big 12 in the dark. And get off it, Paul Feinbaum.
No one cares.
Paul Feinbaum, you're a joke. Okay, listen. Your conference are poached. I don't care. Yes, Texas and Oklahoma approached you guys, but you guys were greatly willing to accept. You were just like, yeah, come on in. And yet you want to talk about how we left how these three conferences left the Big 12 in the dark? Well, no, duh. There's no one. There's no one left. Who's left? Baylor? Baylor hasn't been good for like
I'm trying.
3 years. What are we doing?
The Pac-12's biggest problem, I agree with you for the SEC. The Pac-12's biggest problem is the fact that the second biggest football state in the union, in the current Union of the United States, is non. They don't show up. California is not showing up. Stanford. Stanford's trying their best, but they have, everybody has to be a genius to go there. Cal, Stanford, USC, UCLA haven't been. It's been driven by Oregon. It's been driven by Arizona and Arizona State, just because that's how they've been doing recently. And Washington. That's the Pac-12's problem. So it's a latch-ditch effort, in my opinion, in order for the Pac-12 to do anything, to get anywhere. I'm a little bit surprised. I'm not going to lie that they didn't reach out to the Big Ten, or they didn't try to just go one team versus the other here and reach out to the Big 12. We've gone over this before in the past episodes, but there's still good teams. You got Iowa State up in there. You got Baylor. You got TCU. A few other teams that are big names and can recruit well. But I'm surprised they aren't in there. But it's the Pac-12's last-ditch effort in order to stay relevant, or they're going to go the way of the dodo bird, just like the Big 12 is.
100%. You're way more articulate than I was at that point. Also, so where does this leave the Big 12? If those three conferences are doing an alliance, do the AAC, excuse me, and the Big 12 merge? Do they form an alliance? Do the Big 12, the AAC, the Mountain West? Does the Sun Belt jump in there? So, again, as always, more to follow. We will update everyone with details as it goes, as it develops. As they become available. But Paul Feinbaum, you're a joke. You just hate everyone and everything that isn't associated by the SEC. And the only reason you like the SEC is because of the hot Southern chicks, as Simeon stated.
You know,
Well done.
I was actually trying to walk that statement back because it's a little bit weird and very offensive, and then you just doubled us down on it. So basically, we're screwed now. So we gotta go. We gotta go for it. He's been happily married for like 40 years.
No, yeah. Listen, I'm sure he is a very nice guy and everything, but he enjoys when people take shots at him. Paul Feinbaum.
Oh, well,
listen,
that's true.
If
yeah.
I could be on your show, I would. I do respect most of your opinion, except for when it comes to the SEC. Anything outside of the SEC, I take it with a grain of salt. But again, he might be the only person in the world that has bigger ears than you, though.
I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody. The double champ does what the he wants.
So
that's just for you. Sorry.
Listen, I would like the SEC too, just for the Southern chicks. So
I can't take this. I can't. Hey, Aquafina, I can't take your label off. So
yeah,
Money, please.
yeah, Aquafina, give us money. Give us money, Aquafina.
The college football landscape. I'm with you this year. It's going to be interesting, but we want to move on. We're not going to talk about developing stories. We'll figure that out. We'll continue going on.
We want to talk about actual stories. Just real quick before we jump in, I had a thought.
Okay, that tends to be scary with you, but
yeah, but I had a thought. I'm doing the thinking man pose for those of you watching on YouTube.
That's stupid, but also watch us on YouTube, the 4th and 1 podcast.
Excellent. Michigan and Ohio State have SEC fan bases, do they not?
Okay, you texted this to me, and here's the problem. You can't take the South out of the South. And I know that's, the fortune cookie wisdom, but no, they don't. They have Midwest fan bases. It's like Yankees Red Sox to me.
No,
that's different.
But the passion I'm talking about the passion surrounding the programs.
Okay, well, more the pride surrounding the programs. And to me, yes. If you're talking about pride surrounding programs, you have 4 names. And those 4 names are Texas, Alabama, Michigan, and Ohio State. Those are the people who are probably the most proud of their programs and probably, as the doc says, as the rundown says, have the best traveling fan bases. And if we're going to traveling fan bases, it's only Ohio State, Michigan. Those are number 1 and number 2 in any order you want to put them in. Let me put this. The Big Ten has the best traveling because the Big Ten travels to different states. I can get someone from Pennsylvania that goes to Michigan.
Yes and no. I agree that Michigan and Ohio State are up there with the best traveling fan bases. I actually, honestly, I'm not trying to be biased because I am a Michigan homer.
He says as he wears a Michigan shirt.
Yeah, no, I'm a Michigan homer through and through, and I totally am biased. But I think that you will find other people who agree Michigan might have the best traveling fan base. Listen, when they played in the Orange Bowl back in 2016, 2017, they played for Florida State. That's in Miami. Florida State should have
not
had
in Miami, but keep going.
The Orange Bowl is in Miami.
I thought you were talking Florida State is in Miami. They're in Tallahassee.
Yeah, they're in. Who are you? Who's this guy right here? He's educating moi on where Florida State is?
Listen, you could pull up every made Power 5, and I could name every city that they are in, and I bet I would beat you.
Maybe only because I forget things. I have a goldfish brain. Anyway, my dog sees a rabbit. I'm not going to let him outside, though, because...
I'm in danger.
Yeah, the rabbit's in danger. Anyway, Michigan... Anyway, Florida State should have had that entire stadium filled. It was 2/3 Michigan fans. Anyway, Georgia. Everyone forgets Georgia, and then Georgia went to Notre Dame, and it was all Georgia fans in Notre Dame, and it was a sea of red. Like, it was a road game at Notre Dame. So, I mean, I don't know. Yes, the SEC, I'm sure, does tailgating better. The Big 12 does tailgating better. Michigan's tailgate is just so large. But listen, they got great traveling fans. They're pretty polite, though. But I ain't. And I've never been to Ohio State game or tailgate because, why would I go there?
It's not an Argentinian or a Spanish football game.
No,
You're not afraid of dying.
I'm not afraid for my life. Yes.
Right. Michigan fans, and probably Ohio State fans, we have a rivalry and a hate for each other, but it's still Midwest polite,
Oh, yeah, it's still a Midwest hatred, which is like a Southern...
It's better than a Canadian
dislike.
hatred, because Canada only has two modes. It's either...
Listen, man, I'm trying.
Or...
Sorry, Mom.
Or it's...
Number one. How
Or...
Because it's garbage.
Or...
Come after me. I'm a man. I'm 40.
It's only those two. They only have two modes.
Yeah. No. Yeah. You know what? Let's just leave it at that.
Yep.
You know what? It's time to get hype again because it is college football week 0. I am excited for it. I am over the moon excited. So what we're going to do this week is we are going to pick the teams that are going to be in each conference championship game. Next week, we will pick each conference champion and the final four, the college football playoff. We will predict those. Also, we will preview Week 0 games. I got 2 of them. We got Nebraska and Illinois, and we got UCLA and Hawaii. They ain't sexy, but guess what? They don't gotta be because it's Week 0, and I'm gonna be watching. They ain't the Southern girls of college football, but they are, in terms of slate of games, but they are the Midwest girls, and those are still beautiful girls. I married a Midwestern girl. They sexy still. All right, so let's get on it.
Weird flex.
Yeah, I will flex all day on you, says the man who's going to marry a Midwestern girl himself.
I mean, yeah, you're not wrong.
Okay, let's get on it. Let's start with the AAC. So we are, again, you have to give me 2 teams that are going to be in the conference championship game. Who you got? Or do you want me to go first?
It's really up to you. I'm pulling up the AAC here, throwing them on so people can familiarize themselves again with, that's the ACC. That's not who I picked. The American.
So close.
So close, yet so far away. Here we go. Let's share that screen. All right. This is the 2020 final standings. Cincinnati, Tulsa, Memphis.
Yeah, we're not
Mustangs.
going to go through the 2020.
I know. I'm just
standings.
letting I was actually listing all the names about all the because no one knows who it is. I'm taking the Bearcats again.
We need 2 teams, not just
I
one.
know.
Okay. All right.
I'm taking the Bearcats again for one team because they're going to show up, I think. And then just based on gut feeling, because it's the AAC, I'm going to take SMU. I'm really feeling a comeback from the 80s when they bought all their players. And
don't call it a comeback. They've been here for years.
Yeah. It's that or it's going to be UCF. But I'm going to, just for kicks and giggles, SMU.
So I'm going to roll with the Bearcats. Luke Fickell's got that program rolling. He probably should have gotten a big Power 5 job.
Probably.
If Harbaugh gets fired at the end of this year, I would like them to take a run at Luke Fickell. And I'm actually going to go... I'm going to go with Memphis.
Yeah, that was a close second.
Yeah, so, but I actually dig your SMU pick. They got Sonny Dykes as a head coach. He's got that offense rolling. And listen, SMU and Memphis, they played one of the greatest games 2 years ago. that I remember watching. It was one of the highest scoring games ever in college football history. So I'm going to go with Cincinnati and Memphis. Memphis, it is a weird job because whoever gets the Memphis job, Memphis just seems to roll out players. They are in a good spot in terms of geographic, and then their coach moves on. And right now we got a coach, Justin Fuente at Virginia Tech, who's on the hot seat. And we got the head coach, his name escapes me, but he's at Florida State right now. You don't get a lot of leash at Florida State. Yes, Florida State was dirt, and so right now they're just a nice little mound. But we'll have to keep an eye on that. But right now, it might be smarter for the Memphis coaches to stay put.
It's interesting. I kind of agree with you. It's interesting from the perspective of Memphis because they're not locked in as a basketball school. We think of them because of Derrick Rose. I forget who that coach was, where they had a few good teams before, like
John Calipari, but yeah.
Oh, that's when John Calipari was there. When John Calipari was there,
correct.
Thank you. But they're not either. Like they're not either a football school locked in yet or a basketball school locked in yet for their size of school. So it's good. And specifically, every other team in Tennessee sucks. No offense to the Middle State. No offense to the Volunteers, but every other team in Tennessee.
You're
sucks.
100. They are the team in Tennessee right now, and I believe they had a pretty good year last year. Yeah. Yeah.
Memphis did. Yeah. They did. Did you want me to pull that up again?
No.
They went 5-3 in the conference, 8-3 overall. So all 3 losses were in conference.
Well, yeah, they only played an all-conference schedule. They're genius.
No, they were 8-3 overall. They played 3 non-conference games.
Oh, well, now I'm the genius, don't I? Just feel stupid. Listen, Tulsa finished. Are we overlooking Tulsa? Maybe.
No,
maybe not.
I don't think they're going to be consistent. No? I think that's the problem with Oklahoma.
Alrighty. Well, let's move on to the athletic. Oh my goodness.
Atlantic Coastal Conference?
Atlantic Coast Conference. Yes, the ACC. I am ready for it. Let's pick the 2 finalists, shall we?
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out where do they place. They didn't put where the flip is. Am I missing something here? Where is Notre Dame? Aren't they officially in the ACC?
Oh no, I got a cramp. Oh no.
Oh, he's cramping.
It became personal with you.
Oh. I never did.
This is just great podcasting right here.
Oh man, that really hurt. Oh man. Breathe through it.
Sorry, Mom.
Notre Dame isn't in the AC. They're back to independent. That was only a 1-year thing. Yes, it's stupid.
That is very stupid. Notre Dame, you done messed up. Try again.
Oh wow!
I don't have a that stupid soundbite, but if I did, that's stupid. So stupid on you. In that case, Clemson out of the Atlantic. That's
obviously Clemson out of the Atlantic.
They literally only have Florida State. This is the interesting. Duke on the up and coming. North Carolina ranked above Miami right now, and then Miami. To me, it's between North Carolina and Miami, and I'm going to pick North Carolina, I think.
I think North Carolina was a close loss to the Fighting Irish, a not really close loss, but a hard-fought win against Clemson last year, and then they lost another cheap game. Can North Carolina keep from losing that one game that they shouldn't lose?
Yeah.
So I am also taking Clemson in North Carolina. Mac Brown has revived a absolutely dead program. I like how you say that Duke is up and coming when they finished 1-9 last year.
I could have sworn they had a better record than that.
No.
Okay,
no, bro.
No, never mind. Ignore my Duke comment. I'm stupid.
No, bro, you just misinformed. It's all good. So yeah, we both like Clemson, North Carolina. They got their quarterback returning. So
here's a real question I have for the ACC. Mm-hmm. Is you're picking the same teams?
Yeah, no, Clemson, North Carolina.
Who do you have at the bottom?
Yeah. Well, let me look.
Who should be relegated? To the Sun Belt or something like that.
I have Wake Forest and
no, it's Syracuse. It's not without a doubt Syracuse.
Syracuse got that offense that might just win them, because now they're back to playing cupcake teams, right? So they got enough offense. I think it's Wake Forest and honestly Duke. Duke needs a new coach. It's David Cutcliffe. When you look like him, he looks like Methuselah reborn. He looks like a mummy just walking around. His face is just like this.
He looks like he's had a stroke.
Multiple.
All right. Interesting.
So, you got some transition or something to go to the Big 12? Thank you. Be better at your job, bro. The Big 12. While we do all this talk about Texas and Oklahoma leaving, they are still in the conference as of this point. So, who do we got? They got a couple ranked teams in the top 25. They have Oklahoma at Dos. That's 2 for all of you who don't speak Spanish. And they got the Iowa State Cyclones coming off of a big year last year, made the champ game, got their quarterback back.
Got their coach back. Their coach didn't leave.
Coach stayed, and their leading tackler. So I think we're both choosing Oklahoma as one team. It's only who's going to be the second.
Right. I don't. It's Oklahoma, and it's Iowa State's place. To me, it's Iowa State's conference to lose this year. I think they can get over the Oklahoma hump, and I don't think Spencer Rattler's going to have grown that much after last year.
Okay, well, first of all, that's just blasphemy. Lincoln Riley's a great QB coach, and the leaps and the bounds that Spencer Rattler took from the first 4 games when the question isn't about Spencer Rattler.
Number 1, how dare you?
That's what you're saying.
If you learned anything from listening to the podcast last year, I'm going to test you. Okay. What is the key to Oklahoma's success?
Quarterback play.
No.
Lincoln Riley?
No. Oh, my gosh.
It was quarterback play.
No, it wasn't. I said it multiple times in the podcast.
Okay, you think I remember
I bet your mom does.
Okay.
The key, mom, comment down below or comment on our YouTube channel, since you listen via Spotify or wherever. Comment on our YouTube channel or send us in the text, whether you remember or not, Oklahoma, and whether it came to mind before I said it. Ready? Here it is. The key to Oklahoma's success under Lincoln Riley has been and always will be their rushing game. Period. End of discussion. When they rush for over 200 yards, they've lost 3 games or something like that. When they rush for under, they're a sub 500 football team. Listen, Spencer Rattler started playing well in the game against Iowa State that they lost, but their running game came to life and they rushed for 208 yards. It is their running game, not Spencer Rattler. Oklahoma's going to have that running game again. They got their O-line back. It's always one of the tops in the nation. I like Oklahoma, of course. You like Iowa State as that second team. I'm going to pull something out of the hat. I'm going to say Oklahoma State. You know what? I have no reason
Come after me!
Yeah.
I'm a man! I'm 40!
I have no reason at all to pick Oklahoma State besides...
For anybody who doesn't know that soundbite, and also...
Because it's garbage!
It's the same soundbite, it's the coach. And he's been the coach there for what, at least a decade?
If not,
if not 15 years.
Close to probably... Listen, his teams always battle.
Down in Stillwater,
Oklahoma. They played...
What is his name? Wait, that's the Boone.
Gundy.
Mike Gundy.
Listen, They finished third in the conference
Due
last
to
year.
many hairstyles.
They were, but mostly the mullet, which is back apparently. Which
He's been
my
with
wife hates.
Oklahoma State since 2001. He's been their head coach since 2005.
They were 8-3, third in the conference. They finished ranked 20th last year, and they won their bowl game. I'm sorry. I'm taking Oklahoma State. Not much love there, and I'm sure that I'm wrong, but I'm taking Oklahoma.
They're
Oklahoma
always
State.
they're always a sleeper. It really depends on their quarterback, honestly. They always have some good running backs, but yeah.
Alrighty. So you want to pick the other half of the who Ohio State's going to face?
Yeah, unless Indiana can shock us all, or Michigan somehow breaks everybody. Okay, so there's three options here for me. Okay, let me walk you through, and then you tell me why I'm wrong. Okay,
walk me through this.
Okay, there's three options. Wisconsin doesn't lose finally for once in their life.
Doesn't lose a game that they should win. Yeah,
exactly. Doesn't choke.
Yep.
Okay, and they win. That's number one. Okay, number two, Iowa pulls out everybody's throats with their defense.
They have the fourth longest win streak under Kirk Ferentz, their head coach, at 7 games.
Yep. So that's number two, is Iowa literally just decapitates the entire West. Somehow, Minnesota comes back from I think they were 1-6 last year.
Row the damn boat.
Where they lost their big wide receiver. They shouldn't have. I think Minnesota was the biggest surprise from everybody. Everybody was disappointed, and including the players and themselves and the coach.
Definitely, to the point where because Michigan dominated them in week 1, they started feeling themselves a bit, and then Michigan fell off the map, correct?
Yeah. So maybe Scott Frost's Cornhuskers. I think that's a conversation for next year, not this year.
Correct.
So I think it's who do you want to pick between those three? No.
Not Northwestern? You're not feeling Northwestern?
They're going to be a solid 2. I think they're going to be coming in second in the West. I'm going to pick the Badgers. I think they'll finally get it. But the real question is, can they beat Iowa? And I think Wisconsin just has the bigger name, and they're gonna beat the West. I'm just calling that, I guess, for some reason.
No, that's a solid pick. Wisconsin's pre-ranked 12th right now. My dog's trying to catch a fly and tell me that there's a bunny outside. Yeah, buddy, I know.
I'll allow it.
Okay. So it's Ohio State at this point.
Yeah.
We all agree on that.
Yep. Yeah, see? It's a hard decision to make. I
can see Iowa. Okay, so the problem so the problem with the West is all of the offensive talent is in the Eastern bracket, right? Everyone at Penn State, you got you got Indiana, you got Michigan, you got Ohio State.
Yep.
All of the solid fundamental football, though, is played in the West.
The Big East of football is played in the West.
And playing fundamental football wins you a lot of games, 100%. But against
it's who has the better athletes. That's the question you should be asking yourself.
You have one bad day of not playing fundamental football, and you get
smashed.
You get a wrecking ball to the face. And so it's hard to predict because on any given week, it can be like, oh, this is the week that they're going to lose. Oh, this is the week they're going to lose. Oh, and then they win 6 games, but they only win it by 3 points because they play good fundamental football. And then they're like, oh, they're on a 6-game winning streak. They got this. And then they get smashed by 17. Anyway, digress. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. You know what? I'm going to pick the Iowa Hawkeyes. I really am. I think Kirk Ferentz have kind of got them rolling a little bit. Iowa is the epitome of fundamental football. Hopefully they finally open that offense up because I'm tired of seeing 3-yard runs all the time. However, can Iowa not lose early in the season? That's the question.
Yeah.
Because they started 0-2 or whatever they did last year, and then they won 7 straight games.
Yeah.
So, you got another transition for me?
All right.
Thank you. Conference USA. I really don't know anything about Conference USA. However, I got to see how it finished up last year.
Marshall.
Oh, Marshall.
Yeah, and they also have the Florida Atlantic. Who's that Florida Atlantic, or did he leave?
Butch Jones, I think.
Now he's out.
Oh, no,
I was thinking
that was Lane Kiffin.
Lane Kiffin, but where's he at now? Where's Lane Kiffin at now?
Old Miss.
Old Miss.
So I'm gonna roll with Marshall again.
Yeah.
And then I love this program only because they got rid of it and everyone was so passionate and they brought it back and they went from nothing to now something. I like the UAB Blazers, man. So that's exactly how they finished last year. I'm gonna say repeat.
Rinse
and repeat, man.
Rinse and repeat. There are some few interesting names that are there. There's Florida Atlantic. There's Florida International. Middle Tennessee shows up every once in a while, but no. Marshall, UAB Blazers. Next conference.
Exactly. The independents there, the highest finishing independent, I believe, will be Notre Dame yet again. Liberty had a nice season, but now we're going back to playing real teams.
Yeah.
BYU was a joke in and of itself last year. However, Army finished 9-3 last year.
Playing real teams.
Playing real teams, I think that there's a chance for them to be good, but I like Notre Dame. Do your thing again. Thank you. The MAC.
Maction. Always
some
interesting.
Maction. Some Tuesday night Maction.
Yep.
So Buffalo and Ball State finished at the top of the conference. Our uncle works at Akron, who finished 1-5. They probably will be. Listen, Michigan opens with Western Michigan, and normally the team that Michigan opens with either does really bad or actually pretty well for the rest of the season. I think that
they have a lot of returners, don't they?
I don't know. So I'm going to take Western Michigan and the Kent State Golden Flashes.
Okay, interesting. We also have a kind of relative who works at Kent State. One of those relatives that isn't a relative. Buffalo coming in. Are they ranked? I think they're ranked 0-5 in MAC. Buffalo's
5-0 in
ranked.
MAC.
5-0, sorry, in MAC. Yeah. I guess it depends who came back. Buffalo's always been a pretty big name. I'll take, just for kicks and giggles, unless Bowling Green comes out of nowhere, I'm going to take Buffalo, and I'm actually going to take Ball State again. Finished the season off well. Beat San Jose, actually, I was just seeing, who was the winner of the Mountain West. So, yeah, very interesting.
And speaking of the Mountain West,
I have too many screens.
Oh, well, figure it out. Boise State got a new coach, so it's hard for me to pick them. Listen, I'm going to take San Jose State again.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to actually roll with the San Diego State Aztecs.
Good. That's a good pick, except they're in the same half of the division, so you got to try that again.
Oh, my bad. Sorry. I was looking at 2020 standings when they combine the conferences. I'm terribly sorry, everybody.
You're good. You take Boise. He takes Boise State in the Mountain. They're literally called. Their divisions are called the Mountain and the West, which I actually think is kind of creative.
So
I like that.
So I'm going to take San Jose State, and then I will actually. You know what? I'm gonna roll. Yeah, I got no chance but to roll with. You know what? I'm rolling with Air Force. I don't care. I'm rolling with Air Force. I don't care.
I'm Alpha.
No, I have a better one.
Yeah.
There we go. I think it's between Air Force and Boise State, for me personally, in the Mountain. In the West, San Jose didn't play Fresno or Boise last year. And Fresno always sneaks out of there.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna take San Jose though. I think they're gonna come.
Hawaii's got a great chance to get a running start on the season.
Yep.
And here in just a minute, we'll cover it.
Yep, they're playing UCLA. So yeah, that's I'm taking San Jose and Boise.
Yeah. All All right, so the Pac-12, the ever-forgotten old bones that no one watches, or new bones that no one watches. Either way, no one watches the Pac-12. Listen, I like Oregon. I like Oregon a lot. They had some tough losses last year. Because of COVID reasons, they were able to go back to the conference championship game last year, and they actually won it. So I actually like Oregon a lot, and I am going to feast on a little Herm Edwards, Arizona State Sun Devils.
I think that's a good pick out of the South.
You know what? No, I take that back. I'm sorry. I apologize.
We should get that soundbite.
UCLA Bruins from the South.
Oh, the South is the most interesting for me, just because their teams are all. You look at the 3 ranked teams right now, which is the Utes, the Trojans, Sun Devils. Then you have the Bruins and the Wildcats sitting there. Sorry, Colorado, you're there, but you're not there. So the North is easy for me. Washington State lost Mike Leach. That's not a thing. Huskies probably not going to be a thing. So it's really Oregon. So it's the South.
I do want to point out Stanford finished second in that division last year.
I'm sure Stanford finished second in the division, but Stanford finished second in every division. Stanford hasn't been good. Yeah, second in the North. Actually beating the Huskies. Funny enough. The Huskies were number 1. So I'm going to call Oregon there in the North. And in the South, you know what? I think it's Herm Edwards' year. I'm just going to double down and say it's the Sun Devils.
Not a bad pick. I do want to say UCLA had 3 wins, 4 losses. That they finished second to last in their division, in the South Division. However, they had more wins than the Sun Devils did. And with 2 games left, if they won out, that UCLA actually had a chance to make the championship game.
Best way to put it into perspective is the South needs to put it every single team needs to put it together this year.
Yeah. So, 100%. You're 100% correct. Chip Kelly a little bit on the hot seat. Do your thing. The all-powerful SEC, the best conference in America, the home of the reigning natty champion, last 2 natty champions.
Yep. Oh yeah, technically.
Technically, yes. So listen, again, this is kind of a who is Alabama playing? I like Alabama a lot. Yes. You know what? No, I don't. They not only have a new offensive coordinator, they have a new quarterback who has signed a 7-figure or has 7-figure in endorsement deals.
Is he the starting? That's just the incoming freshman.
No. He's the starting.
So they have a true freshman starting at quarterback
he's
this year.
He's a true sophomore. But
okay.
I like Texas A&M. Jimbo Fisher's been recruiting very well. They probably, honestly, were the 4th best team, and I would have liked to see them. Now, Alabama absolutely railroaded them, but Texas A&M gave them a fight. Texas A&M going to play great defense, going to run the football, and going to get, hopefully, Kellen Mond graduated, hopefully get decent quarterback play. If they do, listen, I just think with the new offensive coordinator in Bill O'Brien, who I don't think is a good offensive coordinator, well, he's all right, but he's been out of the game. I like Texas A&M in the West.
Yeah, it really depends. I think the West's question mark is who has the best quarterback. Whoever has the best quarterback is going to win the West. No offense to Nick Saban, you put a good defense together every year, but I think it's who has. And to me, it's between Clemson, LSU, and Texas A&M.
Listen, Ole Miss might have the best quarterback in the entire conference.
Yeah, I'm excited to see where Archie Manning ends up going. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm kind of excited for that. I'm just going to put the Clemson Tide in there again.
The Crimson Tide?
The Clemson Tide. The Clemson Tide. That's not the correct. The Crimson Tide. There we go. Simeon has some.
Oh my
He's
goodness.
lost his mind, ladies and gentlemen.
Sorry.
Listen, man, I'm trying.
So the Crimson Tide. I'm just gonna pick them. They're reliable. Again, I'm just picking them because they're reliable. It's whoever's gonna have the best quarterbacks coming out of the West.
In the East, I like Georgia. JT Daniels, the transfer from USC, came on and really they started putting up points at the end of the season last year. If you go back and listen to the podcast, we have documented this well. Georgia's a decent quarterback, is always a decent quarterback away from the Natty. They've proved that with Jake Fromm time and time again. Mm-hmm. And JT Daniels, I think, gives them that. I like JT Daniels a lot. I think Georgia might have the best chance to win the whole thing.
Yeah, who I like coming out of the East is really the Vanderbilt Commodores.
Get out of here.
They show great
get
spirit, great game. No. Watch out for Kentucky this year. They're not coming out, but just watch out for them. I agree. It's between Florida, but didn't they lose their quarterback?
They did,
yeah,
but
and they lost their big tight end. So that's for that reason and that reason alone. I'm out. I'm on Georgia. Duke, be better, do better. Okay.
He was climbing on the windowsill.
How dare
do your
you
thing?
Do my thing.
The Sun Belt Conference is the last conference.
Is the most interesting conference this year.
Ladies and gentlemen, but you know who we be picking in the West. It's East and West, and you know who we be picking, right?
Yeah,
Come on.
Of course.
Everyone knows. We got she's a Ragin', she's a Cajun. We got the Louisiana Raging Cajuns, baby.
They're in the West, not the East. I think you said East, but that's okay.
I said the West, but that's all right.
Okay, it's the Raging Cajuns. There's no question about it. Expect them. Both
they
coaches are back.
Dominating this year, ladies and gentlemen.
Expect them to go up in the rankings. They both looked good, okay? Both football teams for 2020 football looked good, okay? We're talking like FCS level teams, but still we're excited about it.
It don't matter.
It don't matter when you play. Coastal Carolina, coach back, quarterback back. There's no question it's going to be a matchup of the Raging Cajuns versus the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers, and we're going to have a lot of fun watching them.
It's going to be the Raging Cajuns, and it's going to be the Chanticleers playing on that turquoise turf, baby.
Yep.
We are pumped. Okay, so those are who's going to be in the conference championship games. We will pick conference champions based on those picks next week.
Yeah.
Plus, we will get the college football playoff Final Four. However,
I thought, okay, can we talk while you're pulling up the next thing?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I thought they fast-tracked it to be 12 this year, or is that next year that they're putting it at 12?
Maybe.
That was just a great soundbite.
You got to clip that and add it to the repertoire.
Yeah, I'm sure we will.
Probably at early. Heather Dinich says at earliest 2 years from this year.
Okay.
I think it could happen next year.
Listen, you trust any girl named Heather. That's the end of the story.
Yeah. So I'm trusting Mrs. Dinich. Listen. We got games to preview, baby. It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Now, listen,
I am hyped.
week one
that hurt
only.
My chest.
I'm sorry. Week 0. Week 0 has only 5 games.
Yep. So not a sexy slate. Normally, week 0 has at least one oh my goodness game, but it doesn't this year. That's all right.
That's
okay.
All right. We love you.
They got Midwestern girls slate of games. That's all right.
We need to also pick FCS next week too.
Rather not.
Why not? The FCS is great.
FCS. Okay.
They just realigned. FCS a bunch of new people went together. It's going to be awesome.
Here, I got it right here. North Dakota State, done and done, winning the whole thing.
No, I disagree. You know they didn't win last year?
Yes, I do, and they rebounded, baby.
No,
rebounded.
It's James Madison this year.
That sexy stadium. You know what? That's the champ game right there. North Dakota, James Madison.
There's a new league. I'm trying to figure out what it is.
Can we just move on to predictions?
Sure, but I'm going to talk about the FCS.
No one cares.
No one cares.
And that's not true, but but we'll allow it.
Maybe-
Stephen F. Austin won last year, by the way.
Okay, maybe if you're good this week, we can talk about it next week.
You're not my dad.
You are correct.
All right, Nebraska, Illinois.
So Illinois has a new coach, Brett Bielema. He was at Wisconsin, then went to Arkansas. Did great things for Wisconsin, however, really didn't get them over the hump at Wisconsin. Went to Arkansas, and then tried to, again, Brett Bielema was at Wisconsin, and what did we say earlier? The west side of the Big Ten is fundamental football.
West side?
Running fundamental football. He tried to take that to the SEC, and that didn't work out. So,
You tried to take it to Arkansas, to be fair.
no, that is a good point. But, so Illinois is going to be a work in progress this year. I don't think anyone doubt. This is Scott Frost's year.
Yeah.
Scott Frost at least has to vie for a division championship in weeks 10, 11, and 12. He has to put up good numbers. He needs to have a winning record, and he needs to show that his program is moving somewhere.
That UCF wasn't just a flash in the pan.
Because the first 2 years sucked. Last year was better-ish, but then this year, a couple weeks ago, it came down that the NCAA is investigating him and the workouts that they were doing illegal, non-allowed workouts last year by the.
Did you see one of the burns? I'm sorry. It's like, Scott Frost, I can close this. I can close this investigation for you. They sucked. There's no way they were doing workouts.
Right. Yeah. So absolutely. So this is Scott Frost's chance. Okay. This is his year. He needs to make things happen.
100%.
And if he's going to lose against bigger teams like a Wisconsin, like a Northwestern, Iowa, those teams in his division, whoever else they play in conference, they need to be close.
Yeah.
They can't be an Ohio State 42-14 route. Now, granted, Nebraska wasn't ready for that, but it needs to be a 28-35, 28-42 late into the fourth quarter. It was a 7-point game. They need to be close games moving forward. So, listen, I'm picking Nebraska. I'm obviously picking Nebraska. Well, you got lines on that in one of your many windows.
I have all of the windows open except it's back here. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh, no.
It was hiding from me. Nebraska, Illinois, spread is 6.5. Nebraska is minus 114. Money line is at 265. Over under? Over under is 54.5.
Huh. You know what? I'm going to parlay it.
With what?
The UCLA
Hawaii game?
Hawaii game.
Hawaii.
Because I have no
UCLA's
idea.
favored in that game.
I'm well aware that you can parlay it and get better odds. That's how betting works, genius.
Okay. Gosh.
Well, you know what? So let me ponder this real quick. You know what? I'm going to take Nebraska. I'm going to take them minus the points. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take Nebraska minus the points. So they need to win by more than 7 points. They need to win by 7 points, basically, for those of you who don't know how betting works, which I didn't until a couple of years ago. So don't beat yourselves up. It's okay. Daddy's here for you. UCLA is almost in the exact same situation as Nebraska, or I should say Chip Kelly is in the exact same situation as Scott Frost. However, I think Scott Frost has a little bit longer of a leash because it's his alma mater. Chip Kelly should... I'm going to get my words together. Chip Kelly built a powerhouse in Oregon, went to Philadelphia, won a division title, made the playoffs, should have made the playoffs the following year, but because it wasn't expanded playoffs, didn't, and then sucked. And Philly, and he then came back to the Pac-12. UCLA was a garbage program when he took it over. Everyone agrees with that, as Simeon has left to empty his bladder of the Aquafina. But this is year 3. This is time to win, especially in LA when USC. Listen, USC was good last year, but I commented on it earlier. UCLA was not that far away from being able to be in the Pac-12 championship game. They've always played USC close. This is his sort of UCLA's. This is it, time to shine. So Simeon, I'm picking UCLA and Nebraska to win both those games. However, what are the lines for give me the lines for UCLA Hawaii.
UCLA Hawaii. The money line plus 710 for Hawaii. Sorry, let's give UCLA minus 17.5. That's the spread. The money line is minus 1250, and over under is
250 or 1250.
1250 the money line.
Holy cow!
Negative
okay.
1250, and the total over under is 65.5. 68.5. Sorry.
Is it in Hawaii or in LA?
Hawaii at UCLA.
I don't like it. I don't like it, but I'm going to take Hawaii plus 17.5.
Hawaii plus 17.5. They had a good season last year. I think that's actually a good bet.
They run the air raid system. They pass the ball a lot.
Returning quarterback.
UCLA hasn't been the best defensively under Chip Kelly.
Like we said earlier, they have all the Pac-12 South teams need to put it together. And
what's
no
the
offense to Chip
over-under
Kelly.
again?
No offense to Chip Kelly, he's not known for putting it together. 17.5.
No. The over-under.
Oh, I'm sorry, 68.5.
Oh, that's a lot of points.
That is a lot of points. I'm taking the under on that one.
You know what? I'm switching it up. I'm going to take the under. So I'm taking the under on UCLA Hawaii.
Okay.
And I'm taking Nebraska minus the points.
Okay.
So those are the only kind of the real two interesting games that I'm real interested. There are 5 other games that UConn you could say
at Fresno.
I don't
UTEP
care.
At North Mexico State.
Don't care.
Southern Utah at San Jose State.
Don't care either. So really, those are the real 2 games.
100%.
Another segment that we have new this year is Simeon's Lock of the Week. So he's going to take one game every week, and he is going to give you a lock on it. Which game? What are you giving me a lock on?
San Jose State to beat Southern Utah is a lock.
Okay. You really went out on the edge there, bud.
Yeah, I don't care about the big games. That's not any fun.
How much are they favored?
Oh, we have to look this up because this is how bad it is. Southern Utah, okay, they are favored by 24.5 points. Over-under is 56.5. Southern Utah did not have a good year last year at all. They have to play San Jose State this week, and then who are they playing next week? They're playing Arizona State the week after that. They are effed in the B when it comes to the schedule for the first 2 weeks.
Effed in the B.
The money line's negative 3,000 for San Jose State. I think it's gonna be. I don't think they're gonna cover. But so I'm taking San Jose minus the points.
No, if they're not going to cover, then
San Jose
taking
in
Southern Utah plus the points.
Yeah. So, but I'm taking San Jose to win outright. Not to win outright. I'm taking San Jose to win. I pick that one. Take the under on the game though.
Okay. So there we go. So your lock is the under.
Yes.
On San Jose State and Southern Utah.
Yep.
Is that correct?
That is correct.
Everyone, book it.
Yep. Are we bidding $1 on that game?
Probably not.
Okay.
Probably not.
You don't think so?
You
don't feel confident in that $1?
We'll talk about it off screen and we'll get back to everyone. All right. And finally, we're going to every week we're going to wrap up with a segment, What Am I Watching This Weekend? It will be a segment, Simeon can jump in, but mainly I wrote this because he has no idea what this is because he just checked into the doc that I wrote this on. What games, TV show, other sporting event, other thing happening on TV this weekend that I am watching. We got to get a little soundbite or something in there because I don't know. But anyway, this is the wrap up of the show. So what am I watching this weekend? Very easy. I kind of touched on it earlier. I'm watching Nebraska and Illinois. Well, between moving my brother back out of his apartment. This is twice, dude. This is twice.
Well, let's hope I don't get divorced, okay?
You're on your own for that. I'm not moving you out then.
Whoa! I'll let Liz know. She'll love that.
All right. So I'm watching Nebraska and Illinois, but more specifically, I'm watching UCLA and Hawaii, and I'm watching for both Nebraska and UCLA. They need to get off to fast starts. They need to win this weekend. They need to win in convincing fashion. So I'm talking lead wire to wire. It's not a game in the fourth quarter.
Right.
Like,
all the fans are gone. Yep.
All the fans are still there because I think it's 2 home games.
No, Nebraska's at Illinois.
Okay, so all the fans are gone in Illinois. All of the fans are still there in LA, or all the kids are on the street doing coke. I don't know.
Well, it's at Champaign, so that would actually be Illinois because Illinois is known as one of the top party schools.
So all the kids left in Champaign to do coke on the sidewalk, and all the girls left to be actresses and actors, boys in L.A. I don't know, or still in the stadium. I don't know. Anyway, I'm just looking for them to get off to fast starts. Are you watching anything this weekend?
So this weekend we are doing a mixology thing. Me and my fiance for our wedding on Saturday. So with her brother and sister-in-law. So most likely what will end up happening is we'll watch like Master and Commander or some really cheesy 2000s action drama movie. And I will end up just checking my phone to see what the scores of the UCLA-Hawaii game are. And the San Jose versus Southern Utah game, which, by the way, is being broadcast on CBS Sports Network. So I could watch it if I want to, and it's at 10 p.m., so we'll see what happens.
Hey, there you go. All right. Well, that does it for the week 0. College football is upon us, ladies and gentlemen. We got 2 days until week 0. We got 9 days until week 1. We will be back next week. Fingers crossed. God willing, we will be back next week to review week 0, preview week 1. We're going to hit you with everything we got this year. We are passionate. I am rejuvenated after a summer off. Simeon, well, he's still terrible at his job, but he's here. He's here, and he's ready to go. As always, wash your hands, you filthy animals. This has been the 4th and 1 podcast for Simeon Schlicker. I am Micaiah Schlicker. God bless. Peace out. Anchor.fm/4th and 1. See you guys next week. Peace out.